Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Studs. Today we have our favorite Joe here. Drop the Joe emoji in the comments, guys. He is here and we're talking about Joe's favorite Lego theme. I think it's pretty safe to say, right?
It's definitely my favorite Lego theme.
This task was appointed to you, and if you do not find a way, no one will.
Yes, this is Lego Lord of the Rings, and this is a collection of all the Lord of the Rings boxes. Some of the Hobbit sets kind of are also in Lord of the Rings. That's why you might not see Bag End or a few of those.
So this is only Lord of the Rings sets.
Yes.
Only Lord of the Rings. Hobbit sets, I left those at home.
Gotcha.
We're not talking about Hobbit this time. We'll talk about it on an episode some other time. Lord of the Rings is better, so we're going to talk about only Lord of the Rings today.
There you go. Awesome.
Maybe.
Yeah. At least mostly. Yeah. We'll probably reference the Hobbit a few times, you know, and I'm sure the Hobbit.
These are Hobbits right here.
Yes, but they're the only ones on the table that are that category.
Yeah.
So cool. But yeah, it's usually we have enough room for everything, but this one we barely had enough room. I'm glad we just stuck to Lord of the Rings
Hobbit
this
would
episode.
Have been going up the wall.
Whole shelves behind us or something. Yeah, but no, this is insane, Joe. I'm going to rapid fire a couple questions for you and see if we can get some basic statistics for people who are watching kind of maybe a little blown away by what's on the table here. First of all, how long have you been collecting Lego Lord of the Rings sets?
I think I started really collecting. I didn't have much, if anything, until we did episode 8 of Between the Studs. We did. I wasn't even supposed to be on it, but I was the day of decided to be on an episode where we talked about Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And I already loved Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, like as a story and as the movies. But then I was like, man, these sets are good.
Looking back, these are some of the best sets from these years, which are also pretty good years for Lego sets too. So.
And I had the build from Helms, which I bought before I was an employee actually here, back at the old store. And it was one of my favorite sets, and then I ended up selling it to my brothers, which was stupid.
Live and learn.
I was young, y'all. So I had that. Sold it, and I was like, yeah, you know, Lord of the Rings is cool, but I don't have the figures. And that's what got me. I didn't have the figures for the set, so that's why I sold it to my brothers.
Yeah.
But then we did that video, and I was like, these are good. I need to get these. So slowly, since then, which was...
about a year ago.
I mean, it was over a year ago, easily. So since then, I've just been collecting these, and I have every single Hobbit and Lord of the Rings figure they've made. At least one of every single one of them.
That's amazing. And sometimes many multiples of some of them.
Especially for some of them.
Yes. Exactly. The Uruk-hai in particular.
Especially the Uruk-hai.
Very cool. Okay. So, another question that you can just generally, don't want to get too specific, but how much money do you think has been invested in Lord of the Rings since that time while collecting?
I mean, actual money, I've probably put a lot of store credit into it as well, but actual money, I've probably put anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. I don't know.
Yeah, several $1,000s.
A lot has been put into it, but a lot of it's also been store credit.
Yeah.
So definitely haven't paid like full price or anything really, except maybe like this one.
Joe does work pretty hard, and with other things that we do here at the store, we're able to earn some store credit. Doing other things, so now we can get Lego at a slightly discounted rate. It's one of the perks of working at Atlanta Brick Co. But yeah, so that is thankfully you might not have spent absolutely top dollar for all these. You managed to get some at good deals.
Probably I'd have to say probably $2,000 has been put into it as a whole.
As far as cash down on the table, wow. So, and Lord of the Rings sets, I mean, initially after their first discontinuation, they pretty much jumped right up and have just been continuing to steadily climb ever since. So that is, you know, a couple $1,000s sounds pretty bad, but it's actually probably a tremendously good deal for what you could have paid.
Now,
if you had bought all these new sealed top dollar Amazon prices, you know. So
the only one I bought sealed out of all of these, I think, was Helms Deep.
And
it came with the crushed box anyway. So someone put a label on it and shipped the box. Like the label was on the box.
I hate it when that happens.
So
that's the worst.
I did get a partial refund out of it, so I didn't end up paying that much.
Okay, that's good.
This is already doubled in price since I bought it.
Yeah.
Like the sealed price is already doubled.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So.
All right, moving on. How many figures do you think you have on the table? We already said you have a few multiples of army style figures, but what do you think is the total here?
It's over 100. I can tell you that much because I know I have 55 Urukai.
That deals with most of them right there, yeah.
And then, I mean, there's a lot of other ones as well. So, and then 9 ring race and such. And 2 of each of these guys.
So probably like 110, 120 plus.
It's over 100, but nothing crazy.
Someone pause the video, count them all out, and then comment below.
Yeah.
I always love our fact checkers in the comments.
Exactly,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget this guy.
Absolutely, yeah, the troll back there.
He's just chilling.
Giant cave troll.
Because I don't have the Mines of Moria build.
Yeah, you have the figures for it.
I do have the figures, but it's the build I don't have.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I mean, a lot of those parts aren't super rare, but some of the stickers are.
I'll get it when we get one in without the figures.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see one eventually here at Atlanta Brick.
Yeah.
All right, next thing is there's obviously a bunch of sets here. Some very impressive sets. But I noticed that there were a few of these were not actual sets. Would you like to point out for us which are the custom mocks that you've either built or have acquired?
Yeah, so all the mocks I have, I've made myself. This one here is the latest one I've built, actually. Nice. And this is just the end of the Second Age, the battle. I forget exactly what it's called, but...
The beginning of Lord of the Rings, right?
Literally the beginning of the movie, The Fellowship. It shows the whole, like, I think it's Galadriel's voice does the talk over, and it
CGI
says what's
armies,
going on. Yeah, and the whole battle with Sauron, and it's all going down. This is just a scene. I had some cool a custom elf, a custom Numenor soldiers, and I was like, I don't want them to just sit here. So I built a small little diorama there, and they're just fighting orcs. This one I had built before it, which is what inspired me to do that one. This is when Sauron has just killed Elendil, and Isildur runs over to his father. It's like, no. Yeah. And then Sauron, comes over and he's all, I'm
going to kill you.
Elendil reaches and grabs, or Isildur reaches and grabs Elendil's sword. Sauron steps on Elendil's sword. It snaps, but Isildur uses the shard and slices across and is able to chop
the finger.
Thankfully, the finger with the ring of power on it, and disintegrating Sauron, his physical form, thus ending that battle. Then he goes and doesn't throw the ring in the lava because he's an idiot.
We all make mistakes.
That is the mock. I thought that was such a cool scene to do. And again, I had these really cool customs that I wanted to show off. And then my favorite mock that I have, this boy, Black Gate. The set of the Black Gate is good, but it wasn't good enough for me. Like I didn't want to pay for it because it wasn't worth it. I ended up getting the figures, but I got those for a great deal. I think all of those I got at
Brick Rodeo.
Yeah, that's where I actually got a lot of the expensive ones for really good deals there.
So conventions can have some good deals.
They really can. And then I just I gotta build one because I wanted to show the mouth of Sauron getting his head chopped off.
So another iconic scene.
It is only in the extended as well. This guy actually.
I didn't know that.
He only appears in the extended version.
Interesting.
So he's a character.
So if you haven't seen the extended versions, you're missing out on a character.
You really don't even know who he is.
And cool scenes.
It's so epic.
Yeah.
It makes that whole Black Gate battle so much cooler. But yeah, this was just a fun mock I built. I remember I built one tower and had no parts to finish another side. So I came here and got all the parts. And then I was able to finish it up and, make it look better. But I love that. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I love the detail you've got on this one. It's got some very nice texture and
very
fun. Clean black, almost crystal-looking walls. They're really cool. So, just like the movie. Very nice. But is there one more here? That little tower?
So, yes, I forgot. Sorry, Jacob. This is Orthanc, the Tower of Orthanc, miniature style. Jacob made this for me for Christmas last year. Because I said I wanted Orthanc, and he said, I'll get you Orthanc. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then he ended up giving me this. So I was like, okay, that's good.
The next best thing. It's a cute
which I do
one.
love. It's amazing. And now that I have Orthanc, it's very nice to have the two towers together.
There you go.
See what I did there?
They're not the actual two towers, but it's two towers.
But it is two towers.
It actually is two towers.
So that's a very fun mock that Jacob made for me.
That's very cool, Joe. Very cool.
Yeah.
But most of the other ones are sets or just stands
the rest of
for
them
figures.
Are all sets.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stands that I did.
A lot of Lord of the Rings sets to acquire. Yeah. Maybe one day they'll make more. We'll see. Anyway, I love how I'm peeking behind this tower the entire time. I'm just like, hey guys, we're filming a video. It's just fun?
The Tower of Orthanc, just casual.
Alrighty, so next on my list of questions, I have a thing about custom minifigures. You actually mentioned some on your custom mocks, You have a Numenor and the Elven Warrior
Second
and
Age
the
elf, yeah.
Sauron.
It is Sauron.
Sauron?
Not Saruman.
Sauron, not Sauron.
It's Sauron.
Sauron.
Yeah.
I'm
Sauron.
Everyone watching this video, whoever saw my Exoverse video knows I butcher names. So
It's not as bad. If you go and watch the first Lord of the Rings thing we did, Chris has all the names so wrong. It's really bad. And me and other Chris were just like, no.
Cringing a little bit.
That's not right, Chris.
That's
He'd be
good.
like, oh, it's not.
So do you want to point out which of the figures here on the table might have custom accessories or are customized by you?
Yeah. So all these, like we mentioned, the Numenor soldiers here with these shields, and the custom helmets, custom printing as well, but the rest is Lego parts. Those are really awesome.
They are pretty sweet looking. Yeah.
The style is amazing. This is also a second age elf with a custom shield, and this is also custom, even though they kind of made something similar.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bigger than the Lego one, so.
Yeah. Custom Elendil, who I gave hair because I thought having the helmets on the mock looked cooler. So Elendil's helmet's there, Isildur's helmet's there, and then Isildur's here. And then this Big Kid Bricks Sauron, oh my gosh. Sauron is awesome. Like he did a great job with that. I had to get it as soon as I saw it. So those are all customs. And then I have a custom elf here.
Elven Warrior.
I needed to add something to Helms Deep, have another elf, and I thought that was a really good custom.
Yeah, in the movie, a whole squad of elves showed up, so having more elves makes sense.
Do I have any other custom? I don't think I have any other custom figures,
maybe
but I do have.
Witch
oh yeah, also Big Kid Bricks, the Witch King.
Nice.
I thought that was awesome, and I was like, you know what? I had the 9 ring race here, but then I was like, I could put 1 on Weathertop, so that's why the 9th is here, and this custom gets the spot because it's the Witch King Vangmar. It's cool.
Pretty amazing with the huge ball and chain there. That's awesome.
And then I have, that's all my custom figures, but I have a few customized figures here for, the soldiers, because they can't all look the same, Yeah.
Mix and match.
This is the actual figure here. This is the actual figure. I just used the other side of the face. Actually, no, I didn't. I just gave him a sword instead of the bow. But then this guy's got a quiver, and then his other side is not as, I guess, aggressive. And then this one's a custom as well. He's got a custom spear. He's got no helmet on. Because it was a ragtag bunch. They didn't all have good accessories and stuff.
They were handed out some weapons, but they weren't necessarily professionals.
It was brutal. And then this is supposed to be whatever the lieutenant is. I forget his name.
Carl Urban.
Is that who it?
Yeah, that's the actor who plays him. I know him from Star Trek and other things. So yeah.
It's not.
Somebody in the comments let us know. I'll drop a picture of him maybe.
Gambling, something like that.
Yes. Anyway, I know exactly what you're talking about. I see him.
That's him.
He was always trying to save the king from his evil advisors. Yes.
Yeah. So that's him.
Customized, but Lego pieces. So.
Exactly. This is another custom warrior. All the parts are all Rohan or Aemir, and they're just kind of switched around.
Yeah.
Aemir is out here though, riding his horse just like he did when they charged down the side. Beautiful.
Very cool.
With Gandalf the White, obviously, riding Shadowfax.
Well, that might have been the guy who was played by Carl Urban. I'm not sure.
Okay, Aemir. That's who I think you're thinking of. Yeah. Because Aemir is the nephew.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is just like his second in command.
Gotcha. Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, the other guy. Okay.
And then Shadowfax. Shadowfax.
Yeah, exactly. I remember reading. Yeah, King of the Horses, the coolest horse ever. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Very cool. So a handful of customized characters. Everything else is like pretty much official sets.
All of these are official figures. Yes.
Nice. A lot of Lord of the Rings characters to be found.
There's a few.
Impressive, if I will say so myself. All right.
I mean, I do have all of them.
So of all these characters that we have on the table here, which ones? We've already at least described this one on a minifigure video, which should have aired by now. But there's the king, of course, with his awesome dark brown armor pieces. And besides him, are there any other figures that you want to point out, maybe 3 or 4 that are some of your favorites?
The Blue Coat Bilbo.
Yes, absolutely.
He's so cool, super unique, very expensive. Obviously, all these guys are really cool, too.
All the hobbits
I do love those. Sam, greatest character. But I really like the Mouth of Sauron.
Yes,
and that Aragorn. With the blue cape, or the blue robes and the red cape.
The beautiful white tree.
It's such a cool figure. And then, I have the Grima Wormtongue, who's just cool. But he's not my favorite.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a bleh character.
He's a little blah. But the ghost dudes, the
Yes.
king especially, are really cool.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just all of them.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can't.
All the Uruk-hai. Yeah.
They're just so good. The figures were so good, and they hold up over time. These came out a decade ago.
They still look great too.
They still look amazing. Yeah.
Lego has not been able to improve that much over
No.
all these figures. So
maybe
maybe in their
Boromir too.
Exactly.
Really
Maybe
Boromir.
reddish brown could be a little sturdier, but that's about all.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely that.
Some of these figures might suffer from that because this was one of those years.
Yeah, I
so.
do collect my figures in basically only mint condition. However, I do have this plate. This plate right here has damaged Uruk-hai.
Yeah.
So they're all separated. These are all good condition. This plate gets the bad ones. But they still look good as an artist.
And by damage, you mean like maybe a little crack or
one
a
of
little
them has
scuff
a crack
or something.
or a scuff or crack on the heel or something like that. Just minor things where it's not like, oh, that looks terrible, but I know it's there.
You can barely see it, but it's there somewhere.
But you can also get a bunch of them for a lot cheaper that way.
Exactly.
So I was like, I guess it's fine. So it worked out.
I think it's understandable given how collectible those figures can be, for sure. Alrighty, so we talked about your favorite figures. Let's quickly get your opinion on the sets themselves, because these were all some very nice sets. I mean, they're beautiful, highly collectible. Which of these could you even rank them?
I could.
Okay, let's see what you got here.
That's out. This is cool. But it's like,
Yeah, the cart
it's a
isn't the
small
coolest
set.
one.
It's not that cool. The wizard battle is cool, but again,
Not top 5.
not top 5. That makes it tough. I guess I'm gonna have to leave the Council of Elrond out. Even though it is a great set, I can't knock this or the boat out.
Yeah, some of those are a little more dynamic than the Council of Elrond, which is a cool set.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I even count?
Well,
Actually-
do your 4 and then save your favorite for last. So.
I did do my math wrong because this is technically a set.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I have 2 extra ones here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is technically a set. I'll leave that one out because it doesn't need it.
Yeah.
It just looks cooler with extras.
Exactly.
So I'd say number 5 would be the Council of Elrond.
There you go.
Super cool, good minifigures, but like this Boromir doesn't actually come in the set. It's just these 4 figures here, which are good, but we get this guy in a bunch of sets. We get him with capes in several other sets.
Yeah.
And the build is good, but there could have been more.
Yeah.
That's tough. I'm going to have to say Weathertop just because it's smaller, but Weathertop is a fantastic set. This is just built so well. The design's pretty much flawless, and it does actually open up as well.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Check that out.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can, I guess, do stuff inside.
It's a cool little cave in
But
there.
it is cool that it opens up, and the design is just amazing. And I don't know, it's cool, but when you have bigger sets, it's hard to say that it's better than them.
Yeah, it's got some good figures. Though, does it have all 4 of the hobbits or just a couple hobbits? In the set. We'll have to double check out the picture, but yeah. So.
Yeah, the set comes with. Sorry, I blanked. Wasn't listening.
Okay.
This set has all 4 here, but it comes with the Frodo and the Merry.
Gotcha.
That's the ones that actually come in the set.
Mm-hmm.
Sam comes in the Shelob set, and Pippin comes in Mines of Moria.
Gotcha. Very interesting.
I'd say that's 4. Then number 3, Pirate Ship.
Pirate ship. Yeah.
Which is amazing. So it just shows that the other 2 are better.
Exactly.
That set is just fantastic.
I love the dragon wing looking sails.
They're huge and so cool. And it comes with Peter Jackson.
Mm-hmm. He's
chained up.
Chained to the mast there.
Yep.
And is he only in the extended edition or is he in the regular one?
I think he's only in that specific one. He's in the first movie as well.
Yeah.
Eating a carrot.
Right, I remember
He walks
seeing
by
that
and just goes
on a rewatch.
in Brie.
Yeah.
He just walks by in the background and snaps a carrot.
He's the carrot muncher in the background.
It's so funny.
Yeah. So another extended edition character that you really need to catch on the rewatch. But.
And then second place is Orthanc.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Surprise.
It's a little surprising, and this everyone knows I wanted this so bad. So I'd have to say second place. I absolutely love this set. It's gorgeous. It's amazing, but it's not Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
The Battle of Helm's Deep is probably my favorite sequence in the entire Lord of the Rings
It's iconic. For
trilogy.
Sure.
It's just so good, and the set is just amazing. It's well represented.
Exactly.
The features, it comes with the exploding wall. You can literally just go. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm not gonna do it.
That wall piece will pop up if it's not securely snapped.
Yeah, I've made sure this doesn't come up easy. I think I modified it actually.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it falling apart easily. But you could press a lever and it actually blew the wall up, and then they could flood in like they do in the movie. So the features were amazing. It also has the launcher over here that can, like they sneak out this door, which there is actually a door right here.
A little brown door there.
And then you can shoot them onto the walkway just like they jump over there. And then it has the whole hall here, like their final stand hall.
Yep, the throne.
And then, walkway there. It's gorgeous. The doors are amazing. Overall, Orthanc is great, but this is just better to me because of what it is and the design of it.
I think this is also significantly more affordable
and
when it came
with
out.
him.
Yes, and the favorite figure,
I
of
do
course.
love that figure so much. And then it also came with another great figure who's kind of underrated, Haldir.
Yeah, beautiful printing and very cool character as
He
well.
didn't make it.
Oh, sadly, yes.
That was a heartbreaking scene. That hurt. Aragorn's chasing upstairs and then he just sees him get...
So I'm very surprised that you would pick Helms. A little bit surprised that you would pick Helms Deep over the Tower of Orthanc. But I think there is one set we failed to really discuss in detail. Was Shelob up here,
she's just chilling,
making her way down. Is it her, right?
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Making her way down to gobble up Gandalf as he was trying to launch himself.
He's trying to get away, and he's like, "Wait a minute, there's a giant spider coming out of the sky."
You were carefully, very carefully, arranging all the sets, and then you didn't really know where to put Shelob.
I had Shelob sitting over there, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then Mark was like, "Wait, it has a string, right? We can hang it." So we hung it.
So it's up by the microphone and
just chilling.
It's amazing how it's like, where are you going? Gotcha.
It's slowly just spinning around up there. It's quite amazing.
And I will say that set is probably one of the most realistic and cool looking giant spiders that Lego's made.
Really
They've made a few, but that's
the best one.
Gotta be the best one.
It's just so well done. The joints are amazing.
Moving fangs.
Yeah. And then the print for the eyes.
You got the string. It can actually web people up.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's so cool.
Of the 3 movies, which ones you probably have a favorite movie, but do you have some favorite scenes from each movie?
I do.
Favorite Fellowship, let's talk about that first.
Yeah, Fellowship has a lot of people have a hard time getting into Lord of the Rings because of the Fellowship, because they think it's slow.
Angie, for example.
Because some people just can't watch movies unless something's happening. They can't just listen to dialogue, and
there's a bit to get through.
To me, I love stories that build. And the whole thing just keeps building up. You learn stuff about the characters, the backstory of the whole country, the whole world. You learn
it's world
so much.
Building.
It is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to go into that, but there's some great scenes as well. I mean, we have Bilbo's birthday, which is fantastic.
Yes, I was actually just watching that the other day. It was
I want to go and rewatch the entire trilogy. But Bilbo's birthday is great, super fun. You learn more about how he's so old is because he's got this magical ring.
Got the ring, yep.
Weathertop is an amazing scene. Absolutely phenomenal.
It's terrifying. It
is terrifying, but it's just cool. And then Aragorn comes in with a flaming torch and just starts taking them all out. It's amazing. Council
the heck out of those ghosty guys.
You get more characters introduced at the council. You learn Boromir, Gimli, Legolas. And Elrond, obviously. So you get some cool character development there.
And so many memes.
Oh, so many memes. One does not simply talk about Lego Lord of the Rings.
And I was there 3,000 years ago.
I was there.
All the memes. So many memes.
Memes are the best.
Second breakfast. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Great moment. So yeah, even though the first Fellowship movie may be a little bit slower to get through.
These are from that.
I know. It's an amazing intro. Yeah.
The introduction is awesome. It is fantastic. And for the time, the CGI was excellent.
Yeah, they had miniature landscapes with CGI people on top of it.
Fantastic.
It really holds up well, which is surprising from that era.
Yeah, so, 2001, I think, is when The Fellowship came out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And it did pretty well. I think by the end of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it was just smashing all the records, getting all the awards, and just blowing everyone's mind. So, but that was where it all started. And I think it was very well done. Maybe the pacing is just it takes a while to get through all that. But yeah. But then moving on to the next one, which is Two Towers. Is that correct?
Two Towers is a lot better. Like, I wouldn't say better, but a lot more has going down. So, it opens with, speaking of the Fellowship, you can cut this.
Oh, yeah.
The Fellowship also has the great scene where they're going from LOTR after the Mines of Moria.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is excellent. The Mines of Moria with the Balrog.
Yes.
Excellent. I wish they had made a Balrog set. That would have been cool with the bridge, but they didn't. Anyway.
I've seen some amazing mocks based on that
yeah.
scene and the creatures.
It looks so cool. And then, you get out of that, they're all like, yo, Gandalf just died. And then they go to LOTR. They kind of get some counseling.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, they set off once again towards Mordor.
Mm-hmm.
Boromir's still struggling, with wanting the ring and stuff. And we get that whole scene where him and Frodo have that disagreement, and he tries to take it from Frodo. And then he realizes what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And his redemption arc is just so good. And, he dies saving Pippin and Merry.
Yeah, from all
defending
the
them
Urkai.
against Urkai, cutting them down with arrows. He's like, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's enough.
And of course, Sean being the actor, he dies
always
in most
dies.
of his fantasy
That's what I've
character.
heard, yeah. So we get that great scene from him, and then Aragorn comes in, defends him, cuts down the last few, and then he dies in Aragorn's arms, and he's like, carry on our legacy, because he's the son of the steward, and he knows that Aragorn is the rightful king.
Yeah.
He's like, carry on and protect our city.
Exactly.
Which is so beautiful.
Poetic. Powerful.
And then, Sam being Sam, the best character in the whole thing, it's like, Frodo's not leaving without me, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he even jumps into the water. He doesn't even know how to swim. He goes in the water and almost drowns, but Frodo drags him up and saying, well, you're stuck with me now. Which
exactly.
saved the whole thing.
Exactly.
Because without Sam, he would have died many times.
For sure.
So
exactly.
there's a lot in the Fellowship that people just don't get to because they're like, oh, it's too slow at the beginning, and they just turn it off.
Yeah. They're missing so much good stuff,
and
for
if
sure.
you don't watch the extended version, you don't get the scene where they talk about I think it's called Lammas bread, where Legolas picks up and goes, 1 bite is enough to fill the stomach of a grown man for a full day, and then puts it down. And then Merry leans over to Pippin and goes, how many did you eat? And Pippin just goes, 4, and burps. It's just great. It's hilarious. It's
amazing.
just hobbits, man. Second breakfast. 4.
I can relate I think we can relate to those.
I feel like
having high metabolism.
Yeah, gotta eat that food.
Exactly.
So that's just great scenes. The extended versions just pack those little things in there, and they grow the story even more. Because the books are really long, which I have read the books. I need to reread them again.
Interesting.
But I have read all the books, including the background with Silmarillion and such. I don't remember as much with that because it's been a few years. And then moving on to the second movie.
Yes.
This is in that, so that's good.
Well, your favorite set is featured highly in that movie.
It is. It
yes.
starts off with, now everyone's switched off. We got Merry and Pippin being dragged along by Urkai, Sam and Frodo trying to find their way into farther towards Mordor, and then we've got Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn, our trio, the 3 hunters, who are becoming friends, and
through the trials.
At first, they were like all snooty with each other, especially Gimli and Legolas, who were like, "Oh, you're an elf. Oh, you're a dwarf," and end up becoming like the best of friends. So we start getting their camaraderie. That's it. That thing. We end up getting more of that. So it's just super cool watching them grow together as they go to try to save Merry and Pippin because the Fellowship is broken.
Yeah.
But they are like, we can still save our friends. So they are chasing after the Urkai. Legolas, drops some, sun, red, rising. Oh. Just kidding. It doesn't sound like that. But he drops some elvish things like, yo, this is happening. Such a thing. It's like, all right. They're taking the Hobbits dies.
Yeah, exactly. More memes being dropped. It's
so
amazing.
Good. So that's just a great, that entire thing with them chasing down the Urkai and then running into the band from Rohan.
Yes, exactly.
Riders from the West.
I really like the Rohan characters and figures. They're sort of like Saxons on horseback.
So
it's very interesting.
They're amazing. And Éomer is a great character. Théoden's a great character. Super great. Slightly possessed at the beginning, but it's fine. Gandalf fixes him. Speaking of that, spoiler alert, Gandalf's not dead.
Yep.
So we get the whole thing with Treebeard's introduced, and he's like, yo, your friends actually... No, wait. Forget what I just said.
Gandalf was introduced?
Gandalf, yeah. Well,
Wasn't he? Didn't he come over the hill to show to some of his friends?
So basically, I think Éomer tells them. Yeah, that's right. Éomer says, that people have been seeing the White Wizard and they think Saruman, because they know Saruman is evil and fighting against.
That White Wizard was bad.
So
that White Wizard was good.
But they thought that guy was gray and dead.
Exactly.
So they get the whole thing, and then they see him, and the way, of course, the movie is, it kind of sounds like Saruman when he first starts talking. He's got this huge, you can't tell because of the blinding light. Yeah. And he starts saying things, and then it slowly fades, and then it's like, oh, what? That's Gandalf?
Yeah.
And it's like, they're like, yo,
I gotcha.
You're not dead. How? And then, that all goes down. So then Gandalf is now leading the three, and, he says Merry and Pippin are safe.
Yeah.
Because he had already, ran into them and sent them on their way with Treebeard.
Exactly.
They're past and need to cross. So then they all go to Edoras, the home of the Rohirrim.
Exactly. I love the awesome wooden structure, the huge hall building.
Another set they never made that would have been really cool is the Great Hall of Edoras. So that's unfortunate. But we got some great stuff from that, the whole showdown with... we get Éowyn introduced, Theoden introduced, and Grima Wormtongue introduced.
Where is he? Right here?
We love that guy.
Yep.
So
Grima.
So there's that whole scene with Gandalf just kind of kicking Saruman's butt without Saruman being there. Has possession and such. So that's just a great scene. Theoden gets healed and begins to realize what's going on, obviously. And then he joins the other side, but they still don't completely agree on things because him and Aragorn are different. They're two kings. One is an actual king and one's an exiled king. So he doesn't actually have his people.
Yep. But some fascinating scenes from that movie for sure, especially
and then
with
we get the great Battle of Helms
and
Deep.
How much of the movie does that comprise?
I don't know, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously it cuts to Frodo and Sam doing things,
it breaks it up a little.
Introducing Gollum and such. We get all that, which is
Gollum.
really great. And I love Gollum in Two Towers because you get him as Smeagol. And as Smeagol, he is actually amazing. Stupid fat hobbits.
He seems much more sassy than
he is. He's just
Gollum.
Sassy and funny because he actually is trying to do good and actually serve Frodo.
Yeah.
So that's always amazing. We get that from him. And then there's so much that happens. Faramir gets introduced, and we get Faramir and his band who are gone from Gondor.
What would have been a great set is those giant Olifants. That comes a little bit later.
It would be so cool.
Because they're not introduced in the...
No, they are introduced in Two Towers because they raid Faramir and his archers...
Are attacking them.
Them and taking all of those down. His band of rangers, which actually have a custom Faramir and ranger. I forgot to bring them.
Nice. Next time.
Yes. So
in the Hobbit video. We'll have
sneak them in here.
Exactly.
So we get that. He's introduced, and I love Faramir. I wish Lego had actually made him in a Gondor set, maybe.
Yep.
Would have been nice.
Maybe the ruins. Yeah.
Of Osgiliath. Such a cool scene. All of those scenes. All of it. Yep. It's all good.
But before we get into sets we wish they'd made, let's move on to the final one, the Return of the King.
Yeah. So after the Battle of Helm's Deep, we get that's the ending really of the movie. We get the great ending to that, and then they say something about the wars, shifting. Isengard has been defeated because they defeated all these Uruk-hai, and then the Ents march in and destroy the dam and flood Isengard.
So this tower gets messed up.
Yeah, they get flooded and Saruman is trapped. So and that defeated. Ends the movie. Then it opens up, and Sam and Frodo at this point are
making
in
their
Osgiliath.
way. Yeah.
And Faramir decides, even though he knows, he does the opposite of his brother. Instead of turning, Boromir was going to turn them over and use the ring to try to help Gondor. Faramir thought about it, but realized that in the end it would not. It would corrupt and destroy.
It wouldn't help them in the end.
So he let him go, and but at this point Smeagol thinks he's been betrayed and wants to kill them. So he starts leading them towards the path of Shelob. So we get them going that way towards that lady, and then the remaining, or not the remaining, but Theoden, Gimli, Legolas, Aragorn, Gandalf.
That crew.
They all ride off towards Isengard to confront Saruman, which they do end up doing. Grima ends up literally stabbing Saruman in the back. And Legolas like, nah, dude, and shoots him.
Yeah.
So Grima dies, and then Saruman falls.
Yep. And in the extended edition, you can see him just land, right?
So, well, in the extended or in the unextended version, all they say is he's locked himself in his tower. They don't show any confrontation.
Wow. Okay.
Only in the extended is there confrontation, and they actually show the death of Saruman.
Yeah, where he falls and
instead of in the unextended.
They just kind of gloss over it.
Pippin just sees the Palantir, which they do meet Merry and Pippin, obviously. They just see the Palantir in the water.
Yeah, the orb, right?
So it cuts from just going, he's locked himself in his tower, and then it shows him getting it. Then there's like that 5 minutes or so where they confront him and everything. He gets killed, and he falls and gets rolled into the water, and the Palantir falls out. So that, that's such a good interaction. Super cool, and it shows how Gandalf has grown more powerful by, he breaks the staff of Saruman. So that's great, and this is there, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and that you can pretty much kind of relive that entire scene with this massive
totally
set.
Kind
of like how you can relive Helms Deep. Yes.
So we get that great scene, and they keep progressing. They end up going to Gondor, which
the Black Gate.
Most of the movie is over in Minas Tirith, the White City.
Yep, I remember that.
Which is awesome.
Wouldn't that have been a nice set? Oh.
Dude, with the 7 layers.
Anyway. So
it just keeps going and it keeps building. We get the Battle of Pelennor Field, which is also awesome. And I have to say, because it is the conclusion, I have to lean towards Return of the King actually being my favorite.
Yeah.
Even though I really like Two Towers as well.
It's all the payoff of the whole story.
The payoff,
yeah.
Exactly. So we get all that, Battle of Pelennor Field, Gondor's really going down. Then the Rohirrim charge is one of my favorite scenes. Like, I am not kidding you. I mean, it is awesome.
The music is amazing. The cinematography.
Because in the extended version, the Witch King has just knocked Gandalf down, and it's probably about to kill him. And then you just hear this horn blow.
Yep.
And everyone, even the Witch King's like,
wait a second, who's coming?
And then the heel just gets crested by the Rohirrim. And then Theoden has this rousing speech, and it's just like, ah. And then they charge. And the orcs are shooting arrows, and then they're like, there's nothing happening. They're still coming, and then they start to scramble and break ranks, and then they just
they start to rout. Yeah. Oh,
it's so epic.
Epic battle scenes.
And then after the conclusion of that, with the ship coming and the Aragorn leading there's a lot we're skipping over, but we can't summarize the entire movie. Yeah. They're long and amazing. Just please go watch them for yourselves.
But what's important is, I think that Lego did a pretty good job capturing several of the highlights from all these films.
Like that pirate ship is a great one they made with the Ghost King leading his soldiers.
They even made the gate, although that's not one of your favorites.
I don't love the set, but I'm glad they made it.
Yeah.
And because we got those figures out of it.
Exactly.
So after the Battle of Pelennor Field is finished, Saruman's not defeated yet. Frodo and Sam are still over there trying to get away.
Yeah, the other tower. Yeah.
They're busy getting Shelobbed.
Exactly. They do escape, though, because otherwise the movie would end.
Exactly. And then the Black Gate, they know that, if Sam and Frodo are still alive, they are close.
Yeah.
So they're depleted forces from the Rohirrim, Gondor. Aragorn goes, guys, we have to go, and we have to distract the eye. So they march all the way towards the Black Gate. This small band of mismatched guys,
the leftovers, basically.
And it's a small army, and they they call out, and the mouth of Sauron comes out. They
surround them.
They have this whole little back and forth thing, and he's trying to dishearten and discourage them, and then Aragorn just gets mad and chops his head off, and then the gates open, and the forces start pouring out, and they circle him. And then, oh man, one of the coolest scenes is you see the eye has started. Obviously, Sauron's attention is shifted to the Black Gate, like what's going on. Yeah. And he's kind of doing that whispering thing and
the chanting
to Aragorn, and you see Aragorn like lower his sword down, and then he looks back and he goes, "For Frodo," and it just charges, and it's like, oh, it's so rousing. It's like it makes me so happy.
Fantastic, very powerful imagery.
And then obviously we get them dueling, and then Sam and Frodo have that whole thing go down with Smeagol and such. But in the end, Smeagol falls into the lava with the One Ring, and it melts, and the destruction of the tower and
collapses.
The forces of Mordor are destroyed and routed.
Amazing. Yeah, well, that was actually a fantastic summary of the whole series as well. I mean, that's pretty much the whole starting out, building the world. You have all these characters. You have a bit of a middle climax. Then you have a huge battle at the end, tower blowing up.
I'm ready to go watch it again. Let's do it.
I started watching it as I was sorting Lego, but we'll watch it again soon.
I really need to.
But I think that I really got to say, going over the memorable parts of the story, they really did cover quite a few of them in the sets that do exist.
Weathertop, you know that.
Council
of Elrond, you know that. Helm's Deep, you know that. Orthanc shows up in the Fellowship, and you get the whole scene with him fleeing, which is also the battle scene over here.
Exactly.
Which is very iconic.
It's like the wizard duel,
But it also is from, the end of Saruman.
Pirate Ship.
Pirate Ship's a great scene. Super cool. And then Black Gate, obviously, very memorable.
Exactly.
And then another set that I don't own the build to, it's the Mines of Moria.
Another iconic.
Super iconic.
Yeah. And then, I would say that, and Shelob, of course, one of the best spiders like we talked about.
Indeed.
Having covered a lot of the bases, what are some of the top sets that you would have preferred to see come out? Or maybe one day Lego and the Lord of the Rings franchise and the brand will make their amends and make some more sets.
I hope they bring it back. So I'll do this.
Just name off a couple that you'd like.
I'll go with this. I would do 3 from each movie.
Okay.
So I haven't actually thought about this. I'm just going to come up with it as I think of it. Let's see. From the first movie, something really cool would be the Prancing Pony. I can just say that. Actually getting the Prancing Pony would be really cool.
That'd be cool.
And then I already mentioned one earlier, but getting the Balrog on the bridge of Khazad-dûm.
I'd buy that one. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
All it is Gandalf, the Balrog, and then the bridge.
Yep.
100% would buy that. That would be beautiful.
Maybe a light brick in his back, he could light him up. Yes.
And then for the third one, it'd be tough between, I'd say, either getting one of the trees of Loth Lorraine, or getting, when they're going on the river and there's the statues.
Yeah, maybe a miniature version of that make it viable. Yeah,
one of those two would probably be my third one. That would be
the two giant cool. You Shall Not Pass statues are pretty amazing.
So I'd say those would be really good ones they'd never made. That would be cool. Then from Two Towers, I'd have to say, Edoras. Getting the Hall of Edoras.
It's gotta be, yeah.
That would it would be phenomenal. That would be great. I guess since it's Two Towers, the other tower.
Yeah, the one with the eye, yeah.
I would love to get that. That would just be an amazing set. Same scale, or, get it
about
the
right size.
I think it need to be a little bit bigger, but it could be close to the same.
Well, Lego has gone a lot bigger nowadays, so if they were to do it now, they could easily make it a little bit bigger.
And it would that would just be a fantastic set to actually have the Two Towers.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, I'd say it's hard because they did make this, which is really good.
Maybe a UCS version of it?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
The UCS would be cool. What's something else? Let me rack my brain.
Two Towers. I think I could see a battle. They had to battle with the wargs out in the Two Towers, right? Because they
did have that battle with the wargs.
I enjoyed that scene a lot.
That would be cool. Just a small battle scene. They could do that.
Or the hill scene when they're battling, like Gandalf and the reinforcements ride in.
That would be cool, but I know what it is. It's Faramir's little hideout, or Osgiliath. Having that side of the story.
The ruins,
the ruins of Osgiliath, getting that with, Faramir, obviously.
A Faramir figure, yeah.
Leading that charge. That would, and get one of the Nazgul creatures.
In official Lego, because mocks I've seen all day, but those,
cool, but getting those actually with a scene, with Sam, Frodo, that would be just really, that would be it. That would be it for me. And then, from the Return of the King, definitely, easily, Gondor.
Yes.
Getting the Minas Tirith, the city,
giant white rounded city. Yeah.
Just a UCS set easily. Like it would be.
Exactly. Huge.
Like up against the wall.
10,000 pieces, yeah.
Easily, yeah. They could so do it, and it would be incredible. And then I'd say Mount Doom, getting a section
castle
with the, just like the entrance and then lava down at the bottom.
The gate and the moat.
Just No, like the actual mountain.
Oh, okay.
Mount Doom.
Mount Doom itself.
When they actually go in to throw the ring.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. And then there's so many things that they didn't make from that, but something really cool that they could do is Minas Morgul.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the city, there's Minas Tirith.
There's
White
the
City.
other one, yeah.
There's the Dark City, which once was part of Gondor.
That's the one I was thinking of just now, is the castle.
That also would have been really cool with the eerie green and such.
Mm-hmm.
That would just, and having both of those, like,
yeah,
that would be super cool.
Matching each other. And you could even, like, bookend them.
Yeah,
you know?
and there's plenty more sets from each of the movies that would be great to get. But those are ones that I know they missed out on making.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. So Lego, all the Lego executives watching this video in detail, Joe has got some brilliant ideas. Give us a call.
I got you. I'll help design them.
atlbrick.com. Just let us know. We'll help you. And
I'll buy them too.
We'll buy all of them too. So we'll be your first customers. But yeah. So having talked about Lord of the Rings, how do you feel about the new Lord of the Rings show coming out? Do you want to touch on that really quickly?
I don't know.
You're worried, like many fans?
I am worried because it could be a cool show, but without it being Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It can be good, but it needs to be great if it's going to be part of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, even The Hobbit is said to be not quite on the same level.
It's not, but it's still good.
It's good, but yeah.
And we'll see how accurate it is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, The Hobbit is not as accurate as The Lord of the Rings. There's things they added because it's not as long.
They got to stretch it out a little bit. So.
But it was still great, and I thought overall it was good. With the show, it's really hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
They can do... It's hard. I have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah, they got a lot of opportunities there, and hopefully they are able to capitalize on them and make a good show.
I am worried that it will be disappointing. That's why I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah.
The only thing I hope we get out of this is more sets.
Yeah, keep the expectations low for the show. Maybe Lego will catch on. We've seen kind of surprise sets show
Harry
up.
Potter they did it with.
Yep, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
They had a set, not more, but at least one set.
And well, they did come out with the Brickheads as well. And then they're bringing back Indiana Jones, according to rumors.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Lord of the Rings is next, right?
Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings came out within the same couple of years.
Like, come on.
So it's
what you thinking, Lego? Bring it back. We need it.
Given the amazing collectible value of some of these sets, it totally would make sense for Lego to make some Lord of the Rings sets.
Please and thank you.
Anyway, but is that all we wanted to cover? Is there anything else more in detail that we needed to dive into, Joe?
Lord of the Rings is the best.
Lord of the Rings is the best, yeah. And I'm really... This is inspirational for me because this is one of your favorite themes.
Yes.
You were talking about it, you saw it, you were on a video about it.
And I just went all in.
And you just really set yourself a goal. You're like, you're going to get as many of these as possible. Ended up being, you wanted all the figures and most of the sets.
I'm only missing, I think, 2 builds total.
Exactly. And most of the builds are in your collection
And I
now.
have every single figure.
Yeah.
At least one.
So that's really inspirational to people like me who do not have every single theme that they have to collect. Like, I'm still got to finish Exaforce, Adventurers, a few other things escape me still.
Escape me?
Yeah, they escape me.
Oh, they escape you. I thought you were saying that was a theme. I was like, what is that?
No. These themes escape me. I still haven't collected them. So for those who are watching, Joe, working a normal job, he's not a wealthy man.
No.
He was able to collect all these with patience and determination, and you can too.
That's all it was.
And Atlanta Brick Co. can help you do that.
You definitely can. Like
So go to our website and see which themes you're missing. But no, this is really cool, Joe. I'm so excited for you. So proud of you. Great job.
Yeah, this is the one I had to be the most patient about. Like getting this, it took so long, and then I finally was able to get it.
Well, talking about that, because you had really set yourself to collect so much Lord of the Rings, this was your white whale or your black whale, as I said earlier. But this was the one that you had to collect, and it really was about it felt like a year.
It took so long. Like when I was like, all right, that's the one I need now.
To match
so long to get it. So long, and I ended up getting almost all the parts from somebody, and I was like, you know what, I can part the rest of this out, and then just use store credit I had to get the figures because we hadn't had them for a while, but we had them at that moment. It's like, I gotta do it.
You got them in, you took the chance, you bought them.
Ta-da!
There it is. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
So you parted this out basically from a used one that you got.
Probably like 20% of it I had to find the parts for.
Crazy. But it looks majestic. It's awesome. You can see all the interior and details. But yeah. So Joe should be an inspiration to those hoping to collect not only Lord of the Rings, but all the other cool Lego themes that have come out in the past. Scooby-Doo, SpongeBob,
anything.
Indiana Jones.
If it's your thing, go get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's worth it, because there's no way I could ever trade these in. Like, these are too cool.
Yeah, but it's even with the collectible themes, totally possible.
It is. Yeah. Just be patient and work hard.
Exactly. Yeah. Get good. Put in the work. You got this. So. Well, on that note, I think we've covered everything we wanted to. You covered all the sets here. We'll definitely have to cover Hobbit in the next one.
We will do that next time.
But
not sure when that will be, but we will do it, and we'll fill the table right back up. And I got plenty more to talk about, y'all.
Yeah, we can actually probably get slightly critical about some scenes that they added or changed.
I totally will do that.
I think that the Lord of the Rings sets were totally pretty much accurate.
Yeah, I really
the movies,
have no problems with them.
Yeah, the Hobbit ones we can get more spicy about.
Definitely.
Maybe. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for watching so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys with so many more videos coming up next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.